Welcome to the Red and Green Report.
Orale, let's do this.
Welcome to episode 9 of the Red and Green Report. I know it's been a minute. Just got done with the school year. I am on my summer break. So hopefully we'll get some more episodes out this summer. Got a lot of people lined up. A lot of people canceling. No, it's all good. But let's see. Today's unofficial sponsor of the Red and Green Report is Naruto, or Naruto's. I think it's just Naruto. It's a ramen spot next to the other ramen spot in between Buena Vista and Yale on Central. Really good. I believe I had a beef rice bowl. It has another name. It was really good. All the appetizers were banging. If you get a chance, go check it out. Really nice staff, really nice atmosphere. Check it out. It's dope. Today's guest is a good homie, good friend of mine. We've been making music for quite a bit. Done a lot of shows around town. Brother from another mother. Dahhm Life, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
What's cracking?
Knuckles.
Yeah,
Knuckles
man.
Looks cracking.
Actually, it's a kind of a bad habit that I do it all the time.
Grease from fried chicken is cracking.
That's what's up, man.
Sidewalks.
Yeah.
All kinds of shit.
True MC right there. Just throw out a word and I'll put out whatever I need to put out, man. What up? But nah, man, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, thanks for stopping by. So Dahmm, man, how's your summer going?
It's going pretty good, man. Is it summer now? Dang.
It is summer, bro.
Why is it still like 70 degrees?
I know, it's global warming, the climate, man.
Okay.
It's global colding.
Global colding is the effect of warming somehow. I'm not a scientist. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, word up, man. But yeah, man, welcome. So Dahmm, man, let's get into the life of Dahmm life, man. So are you from Albuquerque?
Damn, I gotta talk about things.
Yeah, man.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm born in Albuquerque, born at UNMH, University of
Word,
New Mexico Hospital.
I was born at Presbyterian.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Word up.
The sister hospital.
I wasn't
unofficially.
I was like 1 minute old.
Oh, yeah.
At the UNMH.
Okay. What year was that? What year were you born?
1970. Beep.
Oh, okay.
9. I'm just kidding. I'm old.
Nah, man. You're young at heart. We're all young at heart.
That's what you tell people when they're old, man. You're young at heart, bro. Shut the Come on, man. You're telling me I'm old.
Okay, so born UNMH. What elementary school did you go to?
I guess the answer to that question would be, what elementary school did I not go to?
Okay.
So, I don't know. Our family, well, not family. Me and my mom was the family, basically. But we just kind of moved all over the city a lot. So, and not even just because we moved, I was kind of a problem child or whatever you want to call it. So, getting kicked out of schools for different reasons. One time I went to show and tell and this kid took my Rambo toy. And I led the teacher on a chase singing, "Can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man."
Ooh, Dahmm.
For about 45 minutes, so they kicked me out of school for that. Different things, though. Getting in fights. Whatever. Teacher wouldn't let me use the bathroom, so did what I had to do in the classroom. So, I don't know. You name it, I probably went there if it was around when I was that age.
Oh, okay.
Basically.
And did you moved around New Mexico?
No, just the city of Albuquerque.
Okay.
We did before I actually started elementary school, we moved out of state to South Dakota because there was a kind of a bad situation. So we had to kind of escape the city for a little while. So we moved to South Dakota and Sioux Falls for a little under a year. We came back before I started school, but I did do like a preschool there that I also got kicked out of. So
yeah, man. Well, I had my issues in school. I got kicked out of high school my freshman year. And I had to
got kicked out of West Mesa too.
Oh man, I had to do homeschool for a year. Like, shout out to my mom. Like, English, Spanish. I took a creative writing class. My mom was the teacher the whole time. And we butted heads, man, but luckily I got through that situation all right. But yeah, man, getting kicked out of school is a rough situation just for anybody.
It is.
And then you got to, deal with the homeschool and then all the problems that come along with not going to school, staying at home. But So South Dakota, you said?
Yep, Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Yeah, there must have been a big culture.
It was interesting. We lived on a farm that grew corn, actually, with my aunt in this huge farmhouse that was 2-story. So it was interesting. There was a lot of people living there. My aunt was trying to, do the same thing, kind of lay low due to a certain situation out here. So she was up there with my cousin Roger. So it was kind of like a commune house or something.
That's what's up, man.
So I was like just running around on the farm basically every day.
The flatlands.
Yeah.
Was it flat in the area you were in?
It was super flat, man.
Probably the first time you seen snow.
There was mountains there, though. There was mountains.
Yeah.
I mean, Mount Rushmore is not too far from there. So, but yeah, it was a lot of snow. It was really cold, bad. So, yeah, I remember not being able to go anywhere because the snow was so bad. Mm-hmm. 3-4 feet deep.
Oh.
So,
yeah, man. Yeah. I remember Germany. The snow, the area we were in, the snow wouldn't get that high, but there were times where sometimes it did. And just walking through it, I was thinking like, man, this is nuts. And then an inch thick of ice on your window. And oh, man, crazy.
Yep.
So after South Dakota, you moved back?
Yeah, we just moved back here. So so basically the main area that I lived in when I was a kid, because we would move away, but we'd always end up moving back, was my grandma's house, which is over near Corzine Central. So that's kind of the area that I consider, where I'm from.
Okay.
So, because we would move out of there and end up moving back pretty often. Mm-hmm. So that was the spot. And that's actually the area I live in right now. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I feel comfortable there.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So, West Mesa High School. And then, you went to Cibola as well, right?
Yeah, I went to West Mesa. So, I went to West Mesa and then, for maybe almost a full semester, and then ended up getting expelled from there for something I didn't actually do. So I was kind of rolling with a tagging crew back then, and somebody bombed up the auto shop from my crew. And, my cousin ratted on me and said I was in that crew. So they cut my lock off the locker and saw my books were all tagged up with the crew name and everything. Yeah. So fired me out of the school for that. So then I just did homeschool for the last semester, and I kind of just ran that myself, honestly, because my mom and my stepdad were kind of busy working and everything, so I kind of just handled that business myself, which was actually good for me, man. I actually did really good in homeschool. But yeah, then, I kind of ended up meeting up with my friend Tomas from back in the day, and he was going to Cibola, and he's like, you should go to school, man. We could roll together at school. So, kind of got talked back into going back to school. So, yeah, I ended up graduating from Cibola.
Word.
Barely.
But you did it.
But I did it. I did it, yeah. Various things there, too. I just kind of never really felt like I fit in school. Mm-hmm. So, I was a little bit defiant. But, by the time my senior year rolled around, I was doing better for sure. I had a higher grade point average that year and everything, and I ended up, working it out somehow and graduating. So that's cool.
Man, word up, man. Yeah, I had a similar situation. I had a Wu-Tang shirt. We lived in where were we? We were in Guantanamo Bay, and somebody tagged up a playground with the Wu-Tang symbol. And they were like, oh, this dude at school has one of the shirts. So NCIS, bro. The show, NCIS? Yeah. NCIS pulled up to my house to bring me to the station.
Yeah, that's serious.
And it's funny because the woman the officer was from Albuquerque. She went to El Dorado High School. Wow. And so her and my mom had this it's about a 20-minute conversation. And finally my dad was like, okay, why are we here? And that's when they were like, yeah, this playground got tagged up. Somebody said your son has the shirt, so we just wanted to talk to him. And they showed me pictures, and they were like, did you do this? And I was pretty much like, nope. And then my dad said, what day was this? And they go, it happened on Halloween. They said, well, no, it couldn't have been him because he was grounded because the police brought me home. So on a military base, it's very strict. On a bicycle, you have to wear a helmet. So I wasn't wearing my helmet. And like 6 police officers, Navy police officers
6?
brought me. Yeah, dude.
Wow.
And my mom was like, in front of them, she was mad at me. But then when they left, she's like, John, you got to know the rules. You got to wear a helmet or they're going to bring you home. Like, we don't want that to happen. And then my dad's like, yeah, you're grounded, man. So, yeah, it couldn't have been me. But yeah, man.
Wow. So when the NCIS walked in, was there like theme music? Was it like...
No, it's actually, it's very boring. It's not like the show at all. It's like some big fat bald dude. The woman, there's like old coffee in the coffee maker. Files were stacked up. Just weird smell.
You're killing my dream.
Yeah,
man.
I know, man. I'm sorry.
Killing my dream.
I was nervous at first, like, why am I here? And I started thinking, like, what did I do? But no, it all worked out. But when did you get into writing?
Into writing in general, or just making like songs?
Oh, I meant graph.
Oh, okay.
Graph, yeah.
I'm trying to think. It was in middle school. I started messing with it in middle school a little bit.
More like in the books, or just like in the books, or kind of everything all at once?
Books and just using markers to tag on stuff. I mean, I don't think I really started getting into painting until like the summer after middle school, because I don't know. We were just kind of, like in middle school, that's kind of your buster phase. That's when you're like, oh, I'm gonna get into this.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get into it, but you're kind of like a buster though. So
you
don't really know what you're doing, and you kind of don't do it right. So.
I've never heard it put that way. The buster phase. Yo, I'm gonna start using that more often.
Middle school is the buster phase, man, for sure.
Cool. And then when did you get into writing, freestyling, writing?
Well, I mean, I think
getting
first
into the
for
music.
me, first I started writing poetry. And that was definitely middle school, because I had a teacher named Mr. Hurwitz. He was my English teacher. And he would give us different assignments to write and stuff like that. And, he just I think he kind of noticed that I had some kind of ability in that. So he kind of just always encouraged it. And he would really big up my poems. And a lot of times he actually took one of my poems to try to get it put in a book to get it published. I don't know actually whatever happened with that, but anyway, he always big upped me on that. So that was kind of where I started, and then I just started writing, like a poetry journal or whatever. And so that's kind of how I got into it, and that was just probably in 6th grade. And then I started writing rhymes probably around the same time I started, actually painting and stuff like that. So because I mean, the tagging crew was just it was also like a hip hop crew too. So I mean, we would try to freestyle, we would try to write crappy songs.
Yeah.
And then I would just try to take some of the older poetry that I had and kind of fit it into some of the songs we had. And, obviously that didn't really work out, because some of that stuff was kind of not really what you want to be. It's a little too personal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
But that's kind of when I started writing, and then I remember also, trying to go back to the Buster phase thing, taking like obscure hip hop stuff that you found on the, because I used to live right by this tape spot, and this dude would just have stuff that was like super rare, like stuff that you can't find because nobody likes it, and then you memorize the verses and try to act like that was your verse in front of your homies or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, but it was like the summer in between 8th and 9th grade was when it first really started to kick in for me.
Okay.
So.
Were you doing any showcases, talent shows, anything like that?
No, I didn't do it. Well, I mean, I didn't do any of that. Not with rap or anything like that. But, I mean, I was in, like, chorus.
Okay.
In elementary school. So, and in middle school, actually. Because I actually got in trouble in middle school, and they made me be in the chorus.
Oh, wow.
And then the teacher, I guess, thought I was good or whatever, so she would like make me do solos and stuff like that. I had to do solos in elementary school too. So, I mean, I guess those were my first experiences
building blocks
on
man.
Stage,
Yeah, that's what's up. So, with the writing music, when was the first time you ever stepped on stage?
Let's see. Well, I mean, the first time I ever stepped on stage, you mean like rapping?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I played drums, and I think the first show I ever could be considered a real show was playing drums.
Who'd you play drums for?
The band I was in was called Sun-Dried Banana Heads. My homeboy Nick, that I went to middle school with, actually, he wrote all his own music and wrote all his guitar stuff. And
word.
And I always wanted to be his drummer, and then I ended up, this dude Martin Tice he was having a party at his parents' house because they were out of town, and I just kept looking at this drum set that was in the garage, and he's like, "Hey man, you want to take that?" And he's like, "You can give me like $200 whenever you got it." You know? And I was like, "Heck yeah!" So I took it, and then 2 weeks later, I played my first show with Nick.
Oh wow, you learned the drums pretty quick.
Not good. It was pretty bad. I mean, it was kind of like a do 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 do. But I mean, every song.
Drum, you had
every song had that beat. So
okay.
Like I remember being at the show and the bartender, like Nick was like, "We got a couple more songs for you," and the bartender was like, "Oh great." So I mean, I wasn't very good. I'm sure it was my fault because Nick's music was pretty good. But anyway, yeah, that was it was at a spot called Sprockets, which is
it's where Brickyard is.
Brickyard in the Zone. Mm-hmm. Brickyard in the Zone used to be Sprockets. Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up, dude. Yeah. So the basic drum, boom, none of that.
No fills whatsoever. Definitely no reason to be setting up the rack toms at all or the floor tom. So, but yeah, and I remember sitting out front and the other drummer from the band that was called Fleshcoat. He's like, "What kind of drums you got, man?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Well, they're drums.
I didn't even know what kind of drum set I had. So. Are out there trying to play a gig. Is I don't know. I just kind of was ready to jump in. I wanted to do music. That's all I've ever wanted to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to walk around when I was a baby with a little drum because I wanted to play the drums since I was really small. So, and I think hip hop or rapping and making beats was kind of my lane for that because I couldn't play the drums.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't afford to buy a drum set, and I didn't have anywhere to keep it that I could. Be loud.
Yeah.
So I decided to, I guess that's kind of the whatever I was channeled into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember my brother when he brought home, he brought home a few albums. 1993, Naughty by Nature, Black Sunday, Cypress Hill, and then the first Cypress Hill, which I think is just called Cypress Hill, right?
Mm-hmm. So
I remember listening to those, like,
Funky
whoa, yeah.
I'm the real one. Yes, the funky fail one.
I remember listening to those CDs like, what is this? I'd heard Crisscross and you hear all the other stuff that's on the radio, but this stuff I had never heard before. And then my brother actually got into DJing, and he had some homeboys. We lived in on a base called Lodges Field in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and he had a group of friends that were all DJing, and they would do parties at like the skating rink or the teen center. And my brother would go with them, and I'd look at the equipment. I'd beg to tag along. I'm pretty sure I drove my brother nuts. But I'd look at the equipment like, whoa, and they had like turntables and CD players. And I was just amazed at you mean I can switch from one song to another just by using this little fader right here? And then if I hit this button, this is what happens. And they're like, yeah, dude. Like, I was like, dude, this is amazing. So I knew right then and there that I wanted to be, I didn't know what yet.
Yep.
But I wanted to be involved in music and in hip hop, creating it. And I remember begging like my dad, let's get some turntables. He's like, I have a turntable. I'm like, no, not that turntable.
Scratching on your dad's records?
Yeah, man. My parents had left. They're going to kill me because if they hear this. They went on a little vacation for like a week, and they had a family friend's older son watch us. And we just had like little mini parties at the house. And we would take out like Al Green or like Van Morrison records, or Bob Dylan, and just like and we didn't know the needle. You need special needles for when you're DJing, so they don't scratch up the records all sick.
And the right kind of turntable too.
Yeah. And so my dad was like, "Man, my needle, I haven't been using it that much." My brother and I just kind of looked at each other like, "Shit, dude!" Like one night of scratching just totally ruined that needle.
Yeah, and what's crazy about those old ones sometimes is the needle arm was like attached, so you had to get a whole new needle arm for a lot of those older turntables.
Yeah,
so that's crazy.
And then when I got into making beats when I was around 18 or 19, I'd asked my dad. My dad has a pretty extensive vinyl collection. I said, "Hey, can I check out some of your records?" He goes, "No, I don't want you scratching them." I said, "No, Dad, you're misunderstanding me. Like, I don't want to scratch them. I want to sample them. I'm going to record them into the computer." And my dad, "Oh, you can't do that. That's impossible." I'm like, "No, actually, it's not." well, show me. And I showed him, and he goes, oh, man, you could put my entire collection on the computer? I said, yeah, I could turn them into MP3s. I could make CDs for you. He's like, oh, man, let's do it.
Nice.
So, yeah, you know, I made a few projects for my dad and made a few compilation CDs for him. And then, you know, I finally showed him how to use iTunes and all that. He's just like, oh, my God. But even till this day, dude, my dad still goes to the record store, or he'll go to the thrift store and he'll buy records, you know.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, some habits never change, you know, some interests never change. But
that's pretty cool that your dad was listening to Al Green and stuff like that too.
yeah,
Man.
he had, I mean, he pulled me to the side one time. He's like, hey, check out this record, and it's The Last Poets.
Oh yeah, I got that.
And he was
one.
like, and the record's beat up. Since we moved around a lot, my dad had a storage unit here in Albuquerque, and he kept a big part of his collection in that storage unit. And the record was just like, man, the cover was beat up, dented, but it plays really well still.
Dope.
Yeah, and he goes, yeah, man, all this stuff, you know, I bet everybody sampled this. I'm like, yeah, you're right, dude. And, you know, even Common featured The Last Poets on that, The Corner.
Yep.
Wish I could get this feeling. Wish I could get, yeah, man. But yeah, he got me into vinyl, so.
That's dope. Yeah, I remember sitting and listening to vinyl with my mom too. Mm-hmm. She would listen to stuff like Tower of Power and what else? I remember Phil Collins. She was super into Phil Collins.
Yeah.
And I don't know, a lot of funk, man, like Confunction and different stuff like that, man.
Yeah, my mom had Joan Baez. Who's the singer? Oh Lord, would you buy me a Mercedes Benz?
Dang.
Who sang that?
Was that Joni Mitchell?
No. Let's look it up on the interwebs.
Might as well.
Oh Lord, would you buy me Mercedes Benz?
We're gonna edit this part out, guys. Don't worry.
No, we're gonna leave this part in.
We're gonna edit KOS's singing right out.
Oh Lord, would you buy me a Mercedes Benz? Janis Joplin.
There you go.
Janis Joplin.
Dang,
I can't believe I forgot that.
We should edit it out, man. We suck if we don't know that. Damn.
Yeah. The name just skipped me, man. It flew over my head.
Some hippie's gonna be super mad.
Yeah.
They don't know who Janis Joplin is.
I haven't received any hate mail yet from the podcast, but now I am.
Oh.
Now I am.
I just saw Questlove make a public apology about something that was said on his podcast. So you
really?
gotta be careful, man.
Oh, okay.
If Questlove has to apologize,
yeah,
you never know.
Well, you know, that's what, you know, so if you got to apologize, you got to apologize. Hopefully nobody hits me up for the Janis Joplin, forgetting who
so.
Janis Joplin
I don't think
was.
Please excuse our brain fart. We know who Janis Joplin is.
Yes, we do. Just the name, you know, flew over my head. I knew the song. Oh Lord, would you buy me Mercedes Benz? Yeah. But when did you first start recording?
The first time I ever recorded was actually in high school with this dude, Mario Rubio. He's around Albuquerque too. He used to go by Silverware, but it was me, him, and I think my friend Jesus Lucero.
Okay.
I think we all recorded a song together, and the chorus was like, "'Cause when we come correct. Crews get destroyed and mics get wrecked."
Nice.
Something like that, you know, something basic. We all had our little verse. And I think we were just recording it in some kind of karaoke machine or some
with the tape deck.
Yeah, with the tape deck.
Yeah.
So, that was in high school, probably 10th or 11th grade maybe. I think 11th grade.
Okay.
So that was the first time I recorded. And then I don't even think I recorded again for a long time. Oh, no, actually we did. After the summer after I graduated high school, so 98, maybe even spring of 99, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But that's when I started rolling with this crew called ETC, and there's this dude, James, in there. He was like kind of the DJ / producer guy, and he would make beats on his little keyboard, and we recorded a couple tracks on that.
Nice. What type of keyboard was it?
I don't even. It was some kind of Casio, man.
Okay.
It wasn't anything super. It wasn't like a nice keyboard, you know. It was kind of like, I don't even know, the ones that used to have on display at Walmart or something like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, they had the drum kits. And
had drum kits and different instruments and stuff like that. Yeah. And a little pad settings. So I think that's kind of what he would use. He would just hold down the different keys, and he played guitar, so he actually kind of knew what he was doing. With making beats a little bit, more than the rest of us anyway. That's for sure. And then he kind of had scratches, so I mean, he did one song with one of the homies, and he was scratching that Steve Martin that. My styles are wild. My styles were crazy. Just whatever records we had. I'm sure those are like his parents' records. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Then how would he get the beats on? Would he put them on tape? Just record?
He
them?
had a 4-track.
Oh, okay.
So he had a 4. He would like record it onto the 4-track, and then we would record to that.
I remember seeing those because grandma's used to be up on Guantanamo Bay near the Hastings. Well, I don't think it was a Hastings.
It's a Hastings now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it was a Hastings. Now the Hastings.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
But yeah, it was up
R.I.P.
in that R.I.P. Hastings.
I used to work there.
Oh, word, man.
That was my favorite job ever, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
I remember they had tons of music, man. Mm-hmm. Just tons of cassettes, like stuff I had never, like, who is this?
Well, and then when I worked there, I worked in the music department, and so I would get a list of everything that was coming out. So I knew all the underground shit that was coming out, so I would just, because a lot of times we weren't getting it in because it wasn't popular.
Okay.
So I would just special order it. You could just push a little button and special order
dude.
it. So I would, every paycheck, a good portion of my check was gone because all my special orders. But I mean, that's where I first got Dilated Peoples, like some Executioners, some Invisible Scratch Pickles, like Visionaries, all kinds of different stuff, man. I mean, Resurrection, that's how I ended up getting that album.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's what's up, man. But yeah, the grandma's was right up there in that mall on Guantanamo and Lomas. And I would go in there just for hours to like look at all the equipment. And I remember people saying like, yeah, I got a 4-track. Like I make beats on a 4-track. And I remember looking at it like, how does he make beats on this? All it is knobs and like what? I didn't know you had to hook up.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Like I've worked with several people that use the 4-track. I still don't understand how that thing works, man. Like, I just remember my friend Nick, like, clicking 400,000, click, 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 and I have no idea.
Oh, man.
I don't even know how those things work, man.
And then now...
But it's cool, though.
Yeah, now the technology is so...
You just push space bar, man.
Yeah, space bar. I made a beat.
Yep.
I made 5 beats for 3 summers. Yeah,
Yep.
5 beats a day for 3 summers, just hitting the space bar.
Damn, I made like 16 beats today. Yeah.
So, recorded on a karaoke machine.
Yep.
I think we've all been there. I had a buddy in middle school. He had, I don't know why, he had all these Outkast singles with the instrumentals on them. So we recorded a bunch on those Outkast instrumentals on his karaoke machine.
Oh, see, that's at least you guys were smart and you had dope beats. Like, I don't even remember what the first beat we recorded on. I think Mario made it, but I'm not positive. But either that or his cousin Jose made it.
Yeah.
One of the two. I don't remember, but yeah, we were trying to make our own beats and they weren't really coming out tight, actually. So.
Well, the first time I got my hands on FL Studio, I was like, what the fuck? You know, and I was trying to use all the factory sounds and it was just like, man, I was so disappointed. Like, man, I need to learn how to sample. So then my buddy Dan Kems, he's like, yeah, man, my homeboy Phono, this dude Microphono, he's going to come up to the college and he's going to play you some beats. And I'm like, well, what is he making beats on? He's like, oh, FL Studio. So I was like, oh, God, like, no, these are going to be horrible. You know what I mean? And then met Phono, real cool cat. He played us some beats and I was just blown away. And I was like, you didn't make this on FL Studio? He goes, yeah. He goes, I sample. You know, you got to use this program to sample, chop it up, save it in FL Studio. And then, boom, like him and Kems, Dan, Mo, this dude OC, they all schooled me on FL Studio, and I just, man, it blew me away what you could do with the program.
Yeah, you could do a lot with that program.
Yeah.
People like to hate on that program for some reason, and I don't understand. You can do anything with that program. I don't understand why it gets hated on. I mean, I've never used it personally, but I've heard and rapped on some really good beats that came out of that program. So I got love for that program too. I don't care.
Yeah, word up, man. Just when my computer crashed, I was like, well, let me try out the machine. So I bought the machine. But when I went to Germany last summer, I saw Phono and he showed me the new FL Studio, the updated, the brand new. I was like, oh man, and just the stuff you could do, like, it's like, damn, I can't do that on the machine. But I love the machine too, though. Just, you got to learn how to work the instrument. the way you want it to. So
Yep. Well, I mean, that's what Madlib said, right?
Yeah.
It's not about what you have; it's how you use it.
man, what was it? Him and Doom made Mad Villain on a regular stereo doing chocolate mushrooms.
Who even knows? Who knows what they used, man? Those beats sound super, super lo-fi. So I don't know. He probably ran it through like some kind of tape thing, and I don't know, man. Sounds dope though. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, but if you can put out quality music on whatever you have, that's the goal, right?
That's what it's all about. Yep.
So when did you first get on stage MCing?
Okay, so I guess the first time I started rapping was at Bert's Tiki Lounge. So they used to have a thing called Vinyl and Verses there. I was in a crew called Mental Case at the time. So it had several names: Mental Case, Sleepwalkers, Gutter Scum Family. So I kind of been around. We rolled that ETC crew. We didn't do any shows or anything like that, but we would show up to battles. Sometimes we would battle. We'd freestyle in ciphers. No shows. Really didn't write too many songs.
Okay.
I moved to Vegas for a while. Actually, I think I was in. Never mind. So, ended up in that crew because my best friend NATO was in that crew. So
okay.
It was this dude Case. It was NATO, T Dugs, Calico, Paycheck Stubbs. Shout out to all those homies. Paycheck Stubbs, Tiffany. So, I just started hanging out with them a lot, and they had, a lot of stuff coming out of their studio.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of different solo projects. They had a crew project coming out of there. So anyway, I just hung around long enough that I ended up starting to make songs with them, and they ended up doing a set at Vinyl and Verses, and they let me get on stage and do a song.
Word, man. What year was this?
Dang.
When did Vinyl and Verses start?
Oh, man, I can't even remember the year, to be honest. Maybe 03, 04, 05-ish, somewhere in there.
The middle 2000s?
Yeah. So, man. Yeah, I can't remember what year that was. I want to say it's 2003 is when I did the song on stage over there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it had to be going for a year or two before that.
Okay.
Because it started at Sauce and Raw, and then it moved over to Bert's Tiki Lounge.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And shout out to Flux for starting that night, because that was a dope night, too. A lot of people got their start over there.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I remember, when I moved back, friends of friends were just, man, you got to go down to Vinyl and Verses. You got to go down to Bert's. It's like, all right,
that was the spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a song called The Shackles of War, and that was the first song I ever performed live. And I actually didn't mess it up, so I was pretty happy.
Word, man. So you battled too?
Yeah, I battled a little bit. I kind of stayed away from battling because I saw it as kind of a negative thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's mostly because the battle culture and, with emceeing in New Mexico at the time, it's just like everybody knows everybody. So you're pretty much just battling your friends.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of some friendships fall apart over that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I just kind of decided to stay away from it. And I mean, like I told you, my background, with hip hop kind of, or writing or music came from poetry. So I was kind of in that lane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I did several battles. So, I mean, we did 2-on-2 battles. Me and NATO did that. And I did some battles when I was living out in Vegas at this place called The Cooler. So, I mean, they're few and far between.
Yeah.
But yeah, I battled.
Yeah, I battled too, and definitely lost some. Well, I didn't lose any friends, but I saw situations where good friends were no longer friends anymore.
Yeah, it happens for sure, man.
And then I think there's kind of that, like, all right, I'm not going to bring up anything personal, but then when you're battling, the adrenaline, and you kind of say some shit.
Well, that's the problem when it's a freestyle battle, like you're reaching, like if you feel like you're on the fence, like somebody's backing you into a corner, you're gonna start pulling out whatever you can to try to win.
Yeah.
And sometimes, a lot of times, it ends up being something personal that you probably shouldn't have said in front of a bunch of people. So.
Yeah, saw it happen more than once. And then when the written battles, who was it? Like Grind Time? Who was I don't know who the first company was to
Grind
do.
Time was the first big one, I think.
Yeah, the written battles.
Yeah.
I remember watching those for the first time on the internet. Like, whoa, these dudes are sick. Like, these freestyles are crazy.
That's what I thought too.
And then my buddy was like, nah, man, it's written. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, they
like,
didn't
written
even
battles?
That's what was kind of messed up about that to me too, because they didn't even reveal that those were written for like a long time. Like they just let people think that was freestyle.
Yeah, I remember thinking like, man, these dudes, man, these guys are crazy. They must just wake up in the morning and start rapping in the mirror. Like,
I thought it was like the evolution, man. I was like, the human race is evolving.
Yeah.
And they can freestyle like this.
Your brain is like a hard drive. Yeah, bro. It's a souped up hard drive. But like, nah, man, these aren't freestyles. These are written.
Yeah.
And they know they're gonna battle each other, weeks in advance. And I'm weeks in advance.
Sometimes months.
And I was so used to you show up to the spot, you put your name in a hat or on a list. The host says, okay, J-Dub Blunts is battling Nike Air missile launcher.
Yep.
You have, 8 Mile status. And you have 30 seconds. Go.
But I mean, there's some nuance to that, though. I mean, when you walk in the place and you're gonna enter a battle, you're like, okay, that dude's an MC, that dude's an MC, that dude's an MC.
Yeah.
What can I say? Look at his shoes are whack. His shirt's like this.
Yeah.
His hair, I know that he did this, or I know him from this crew.
Oh yeah. Oh, he has that song that we heard. Yeah.
So I mean, you can kind of get some stuff going in your head, but I mean, it's still not the same as having it written and rehearsed.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, you could even come up with lines in your mind, but I mean, you still have to freestyle everything that sets up the line.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's still off the head.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's not the same thing.
The preparation is like, okay, you have this amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it? I just watched this documentary, and he was a big battler for the what was the big battle? Scribble Jam.
Mm-hmm.
He did a lot of the Scribble Jam battles. His name was Swan, I think.
Mm.
And in the documentary, he says, okay, when you see your opponent, you have this amount of time to look at him from head to toe and say, okay, this is what I'm going to say about this person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, what you have to do to destroy him. And I don't think it was a different documentary, but now it's like cats know they're going to battle months in advance. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, I can talk about this situation. I can talk about this situation. Oh, look, this happened, internet, boom, boom, boom.
You can just Google somebody.
I'm going to look at your social media page.
Yeah. I mean, you could go down through the list and see when he broke up with his girl or something like that.
Yeah.
No longer in a relationship.
No longer. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's kind of,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I guess there's an art to that too. Like I'm not trying to hate on it.
It's still dope.
It's just different.
Yeah, it's just way different. And it was like, whoa, what do you mean this is written? But yeah, I was blown away. Just
yeah.
And then it's definitely taken off, even with the isn't Grind Time still at it, or isn't it? It's KOTD.
Yeah, King of the Dot is I think the biggest one now.
And then
Grind Time's definitely still around.
Okay,
I think. And I mean, there's a few different ones.
Even here in Albuquerque, we have a league.
We have UBR here.
UBR, Universal Battle Realm.
Yep.
And then I think one in Las Cruces sprang up.
Mm-hmm.
There's one in Denver. Yeah, they're just people are they're really interested in those battles, and
yeah, it's definitely got its own lane. It's going good too. I think.
Yeah.
For a lot of those people, man, I think there's a few people from here that are doing pretty good at it too.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
that's pretty cool, man. I'm down with that. I'm down with anybody to, big up the city.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Put us on the map in
any
way.
I've seen these cats, I've been to a few of those UBR battles, and, they're heated, but then, as battles are, but then afterwards, they're just like, oh, man, that line you had, oh, man, the line you had against, man, it was dope. Yeah, that's what's up. Good job. Then I remember battling. It was kind of like, man, I'm going to fuck you up.
Exactly.
When we step outside of the club, you're dead. And like, nah, man, I'm going to fuck you up. Just.
Well, it's different though. I mean, those dudes, it's like a culture. It's a subculture, battle culture.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they chill with each other and they all know each other really well. And I mean, I think they're just so used to that because that's what they're into. So, I mean, I don't think it bothers them as much. But I mean, if cats like me and you that do a lot of music and stuff, we're just like, yeah, I'm gonna test myself and enter a battle.
Yeah,
it's a little different,
Yeah, that's what's up. Good old battling days, man.
The good old days.
So, when did you start working on your first project? What year was that?
First project, man.
Your first album.
I'm trying to think what my first project even was. Man, I guess the first project that I started working on would have been a Sleepwalkers album or Mental Case. We had changed our name to Sleepwalkers, but we were kind of doing a crew album.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that was 03-ish.
Okay.
So that was when I first started working on that project. But I mean, are you talking about my first solo album?
Yeah, your first solo.
I think that was 2010.
Oh, okay.
2009 is when I started working on it. And then, because I mean, I kind of was just recording solo tracks. I really didn't have a plan for an album. I think, as a matter of fact, me and NATO had a crew called Habeas Corpses. And I think some of the solo tracks that ended up on that album were recorded for the Habeas Corpses album, because we were doing, some tracks together where we were going to do some solos or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it might have actually even, I might have started recording some of those songs in 2008. So,
wow.
But yeah, and then I ended up releasing the album in 2011. So it might have been over like 2 or 3 years.
Oh, word up,
working on the songs. But I mean, I think 2010 was when I kind of had the focus, like, I'm going to put this album out. So I started, making songs for an album.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I had the songs, like, I already had Ugly, and then I don't even know, a few of the other songs that were on there. Sorry Day were older songs that I had recorded just for whatever reason,
Okay. What were you recording? Like, did you have one set place that you would record at, or were you bouncing all over to different studios? Or
when I first started, so the Ugly song was recorded at this house I used to live in the Heights, in my bedroom. So Percy Wells, he was going by High Def at the time. He was kind of like the engineer for our crew, which was, Skull Control. We already had it together, or Saint Sinner Sons. So he came, he would roll out from Santa Fe, because that's where he was living at the time. He'd roll out from Santa Fe with this portable setup, and we would just set up wherever was convenient. In the bedroom, does it sound okay in here, or do we want to do the living room? Is there curtains, or, kind of just checking stuff out. One time I remember hanging a sheet around a ceiling fan and trying to stand in the middle of that, whatever we could pull off. But yeah, that specific song was recorded in my bedroom, and then like Sorry Day was recorded at, he used to go by Ilson Seraph at the time. That was recorded in his dining room. So, I mean, just all over the place. But like I said, around 2010, when I started to, actually focus on recording an album, that's when I started going over to this dude, Chuck Olympic's house. And he had a little studio set up in there, like a little home studio. So I started going over there to record all the songs.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And he, it's his Pro Tools rig with whatever different kinds of interfaces that he had that went with that, because he went to Full Sail, and I think you get some different things when you graduate from there or whatever.
Yeah, I know. I was looking into going to Full Sail, and at the time, I think it was around 07 or 08. Yeah, you got to, depending on what program you did, I think anybody who went in got a MacBook Pro and something else.
I think it was like an M-powered audio box.
Yeah, you got an audio box and I think a little cheap microphone, condenser mic.
Maybe it's like a MXL or something like that.
No.
I think it was an Audio Technica.
It was the blue one, whatever the blue box is. I think it was an M box, dude.
Was it?
It was like because there were the different M boxes you could get. You could get
it was an M box. It was a bigger M box for sure. But I'm talking about the microphone.
Okay.
I think the microphone was Audio Technica.
Yeah, it was Audio Technica. Yeah. And then I looked into going to the one in Phoenix, the Phoenix Conservatory.
Oh, yeah. Conservatory.
I was looking into going there, and you also got a MacBook Pro, but you didn't get anything else. You just got the MacBook Pro. But yeah, that's cool. But how did the project between you and Fate, how did that come about?
That's just, we just met each other, along the way, and then it really ended up coming about because he was doing a lot of stuff with Wake Self, and me and Wake ended up doing a song together that ended up on my second album, and then it's just kind of like me and Fate started talking from there. Like, I think he came out for like a show that was out here at a place called Blackbird that's no longer there, but and then we kind of talked a little bit, and he's like, well, let me send you some more beats and let's see what happens. And I was like, cool. He sent me a pack of beats, and that's kind of what happened with Phoenix Lion.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
dude is an amazing producer.
Dude, he's really dope, man.
Did you hear the new Potency album?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, man,
it's really dope. He keeps getting better too, man. we're actually still working together. We have a band called Bees and Locusts.
Oh, that's what's
Bees
up.
and Locusts that we're working on. So
Nice.
it's me and him and Miles Bonney and a few other people.
Oh, word.
Playing drums and possibly rapping. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to rap anymore.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm gonna rap.
But you also play the drums and rap at the same time. With, what is that project called again?
Zoology.
Well, there's Zoology, and then there's also just you solo.
Yeah, my solo stuff, my new solo stuff that I'm gonna be doing. It's me playing the drums, and then I have a little sampler that I'm gonna trigger the samples off of. So.
Oh, nice.
But it's called Burn the Leo.
Burn the Leo.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Yeah.
Kind of like Bernalillo.
Bernalillo.
Yeah.
Bernaleño.
Bernaleño.
Bernaleño and Bernalillo with Burn the Leo.
That's right. We'll be burning.
But another cool thing about your projects, man, is that you really get into it with the covers.
Word.
And how did for Spirituality or not spiritual? Well, yeah, that's an ill cover.
Right.
But Play With Your Knowledge of Self. What can you talk about that cover a little bit? Because that
one actually has nothing to do with it. Like the idea. Because NATO, I mentioned him a couple times already. He actually, the idea that I had was completely different than what he ended up doing. But what he did is that 50,000 times better than my idea was.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I wanted like something kind of sketched, not really even colored or anything like that. But he just kind of was like, yo, you sent me a picture. This is what I did. I don't know if you're going to like it. I know you said you wanted something simple and sketched. But he's like, I couldn't really just let you ride like that. So I had to hook you up. And that's what he did. And it's crazy. I think, to him, he listened to the album while he was doing it. So I think, whatever he was getting from the album while he was listening to it was kind of the inspiration for the imagery on that,
Well, yeah, I mean,
and then also him knowing me personally too.
I mean, you got the record player on there. You got the hand holding the puppeteer's hand.
Yep.
You're holding the scissors.
The lighthouse with the waves crashing.
Yeah. Then the factory to the left.
Yeah.
The all-seeing eye.
Cutting the strings off, and I think that cutting the strings off, had to do with coming of age and turning, becoming my own. My own musician that could, stand on my own or whatever. Because I was kind of rolling with a lot of crews or whatever. I mean, I still wasn't a crew Skull Control at the time that I dropped that, but I mean, I think this was kind of like my first solo thing. I'd always been with different groups. I did, Habeas Corpses with NATO or Mental Case, or we had Low the Mighty for a while. Just different various crews, Zoology. So this is, I think that was kind of what he was trying to say there is. Cutting any of the strings that were holding me, and now I'm doing my own solo thing.
Oh, that's what's up, man. And then for the Spirituality cover, how did that come about?
Okay, that one was actually my idea.
Okay. And
if you listen to the album, a lot of the theme is, religion as an oppressive force. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of almost that's just basically what that represents is. Not the actual God, but the God that people have created that are they're forcing you to live a certain way and oppress you based on religion or whatever morality that they think comes from books they read or different things like that. You know what I mean?
Cool.
I mean, that's just kind of how I felt because I was kind of forced, into religion when I was young, and I kind of always just felt like it was something oppressive.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then you can see on the and it's not supposed to represent the real God, because to me that's not God's not like a person or a being that you can see or something like that, or him or a her. But I think all the things that are riding with God behind it are just different vices or whatever. Just anything that oppresses you and makes you do, makes the world worse or not a good place anymore. Because the overwhelming theme of the album is, to get better, because that's where the name Spirituality comes from. It's it's like this group of people when Michelangelo was alive, and they were an underground group of people that wanted to reform the church because they knew the church was corrupt. Mm-hmm. So to me, that stood out to me,
Yeah.
It stood out that they wanted to take the institution that ruled the world at the time and change it and make it better. So that's kind of where I got the concept for that album.
That's what's up. And then who did the cover for the album?
That was NATO also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that one was pretty much straight across my idea. I mean, obviously, the artistic license is there too for him, but I mean, that was directly my idea.
Okay, cool. It definitely, I mean, your covers definitely stand out, and you can tell. I mean, even with our project, True 66, I would have never have thought of something like that, man.
That's gonna be dope, man.
Yeah, it is gonna be dope.
Can't wait till we pop that off. That's
Yeah,
gonna be
man.
dope.
Oh, yeah. Dahmm and I got a album coming out, True 66. The truth is, we are done with it. We've mastered it. Now we're just getting everything together and planning the release. I'm really excited for it. Made some moves today to get the cover going. But yeah, man, I would have never have thought, like, man, that's a that's an ill idea.
It's gonna be dope, man. I know it's gonna be dope.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. Just these things just pop in my head, man. I don't really know. I couldn't really tell you where it comes from, but yeah,
that's what's up, man. Yeah.
I mean, I think
ill ideas.
Sometimes I wish I was like. I mean, I used to fumble around with graphic design a little bit myself, and I was not really that good at it. But if I was an artist, I think I could probably have a lot of ideas.
Yeah. See, I've tried to do the graphic art stuff, and I even a homie in Germany, he was doing shows in K-Town in Kaiserslautern, and it's like, hey man, do you know anything about Photoshop and all that? And I was like, yeah, I do, when really I was just doing tutorials online. He was like, man, could you make flyers for my shows? I'm like, yeah, sure. So the first flyer I made for him was for J-Ro, or the Alcoholics, and nice. I made like the text 40 ounces. It was bad, dude. It was bad. And then what did he tell me? He goes, yeah, man, see, the thing about your flyers is like they're cool, but we just want to get the information out there. I don't care if there's this and that on your flyer. And I'm like, well, dude, this is what you told me to do. And then I wasn't that good at making flyers. And then the second show I did was for Devin the Dude.
Nice.
And my homeboy Rocky actually opened up for Devin. We got to meet Devin backstage. And I remember like, hey, man, would you mind taking a picture with me? I made the flyer. He goes, oh, yeah, for sure. Real cool cat, man. And I'm like, yeah, have you talked to Dre lately? He goes, yeah, I just talked to him on the phone the other day. I was like, damn. And then I did an Afu Ra show, which is funny because when Afu Ra came here, I was like, hey, man, do you remember me? My homeboy Albert. He goes, oh, yeah, man, Germany. I was like, yeah, dude.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was cool. And then did a flyer for that show.
Those are some good flyers, man. I
think
the first flyer I did was for some Vinyl and Versus off night.
Oh, okay.
There wasn't even there's no performance. It was just a DJ. I think it was like Shakedown or something.
Okay.
Which I mean is actually a big deal because Shakedown's dope as fuck.
But, word, yeah.
But yeah, I just did like some copy and paste joint. I did like some blue background with like a samurai that I ripped off.
Yeah.
From the internet, and then just use like impact font.
There was a website called Official. I think it still exists. officialpsds.com.
Oh wow!
And they had anything you wanted. Backgrounds. They had model chicks. They had ashtrays, cars, like whatever you wanted. You could just download it and throw it on your flyer.
I wish I knew about that.
Oh man, that website was a lifesaver. But I did the Devin the Dude flyer. And Albert, the dude booking the shows, Filthy, we called him Filthy. He was like, yo, man, Devin's picture's too dark. Like, you can't really see him. And I'm like, well, man, that's the image that I got. Like, that's like the best image that I got off the internet. And he's like, well, what about his MySpace and all that? And I was like, it's not working. But, and he was like, he was stressed out and he was stressing me out. Like, man, not a lot of people are coming to the show. But like, dude, that Devin the Dude show, like about 200 people showed up.
Damn.
To that in a small German city at a small venue. Like a lot of people came and it's like, oh man, this is dope, And then like a few weeks later, Helter Skelter was coming through, and he was like, man, I really want them to stop in K-Town because he wouldn't fly the artist over. He would find out who was coming to town and say, hey, do you want to come to K-Town to perform? And so that's how he would get shows. So he got Helter Skelter to come through, and I was like, do you want me to make the flyer for that? He goes, nah, there's not enough time. So they came through this little venue, man. I mean, it might have been, the venue probably altogether was as big as this apartment. And stage, bar, like takes up a lot of space. So there wasn't a lot of space for the people to stand, and then the stage was real small. But he was like, yo, man, you can open. So I got to open for Helter Skelter, and
That's
got
dope.
to meet him. Yeah, man, it was dope. Rock and Sean Price, and I don't have any pictures from that night. I think my buddy Rocky does, though. I'll have to ask him.
Damn, it's cool. You got to meet Sean Price. Man.
Yeah, man, got to see him rock that Helter Skelter album. Fuck with Charlie Manson, and you everything is Helter Skelter. Yeah, I think they did the whole album.
Damn.
And they even came out in that small venue. The DJ was like, "Y'all ready for Helter Skelter?" Like they rocked it, man.
That's dope.
One of the best live performances I've ever seen. But yeah, man, I thought I could do the Photoshop, do the flyers, do album covers, and like I just finally figured out I'm really not that good at doing this.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stuck with the music, and I'll dabble with Photoshop or whatever here and there, but
some people take classes for that, and they're still not even good.
Yeah, man,
You got to have your mind has to work a certain way for you to actually be, really good at that. And you actually have to have a decent amount of drawing ability too.
Yeah.
If you're going to, survive making designs and stuff like that. So.
And that's the thing. I can't, I can draw for me, but for, somebody else who wants something specific, I'm really not that great.
Yeah, I can't. Me and my friend Nick used to pass comics around in middle school, but that's about as far as I got with drawing. I mean, other than some, some graffiti letter type shit.
Yeah. I took a drawing class at UNM as a, what are those classes called? You don't have to take them, but you can.
Electives?
Electives, boom. I took it as an elective, and it didn't really make me a better drawer. But I learned some shit. I got an A in the class. The teacher was really cool. Yeah, she was Dutch, or she is Dutch. I forget her name, though. She was really helpful, but...
Nice.
Yeah.
It's cool that they have classes like that over there.
Oh, man, I had a good time. Had to spend a lot of money, though. Had to spend money on a portfolio, a board, a big board to put the paper on. I guess, what would you call that? Not an easel, but... Anyway, yeah, a ruler, all kinds of different pencils. I think I spent $200.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds about right. I mean...
Yeah, and that's what she said. She
Any
goes,
kind of supplies, you're going to have to spend a lot. Or you're going to have to spend a lot on a book. That's just kind of how college is.
Yeah, it was... You know what? I got lucky with some classes, though. They were like, don't buy the book. Just go to this website, and we'll use this website.
Oh, good.
I have text here. But what I would do is, if they wanted the book, I would buy the book at the bookstore. If they wanted you to use the book, I would buy the book at the bookstore, scan it, and take it back.
Got to do what you got to do, man.
And I would spend hours just at a scanner, just...
Because they're trying to fleece kids out of money on those.
Dude.
Man. Come on, how are you going to charge $300 for
It's so expensive.
Like some of those workbooks are like $150, and it's like, that's a workbook, man.
Yeah.
Come on,
and then
you can't rip off people that are already broke.
When you return it, they give you less money.
Yeah, you'll pay like $150 and get like $20.
They don't let you return it because a new volume's coming out next semester. That's how. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's brutal. But yeah, man. I took up watercoloring, and I did it with my 5th graders, and I was like, man, this is really fun. So I went to, where did I go? I went to Artisans, and I was like, whoa, this stuff is expensive.
Yeah.
So I just went to Walmart, and I got some basic watercolor stuff, and I'm trying to do landscapes. Here, I'll show you. Oh, Lord, find me. Mercedes-Benz.
More KOS singing that's going to be edited out. So is this... Okay.
Yeah, tell me what you think.
So he's put some paintings in front of me, and one of them I'm looking at. It looks like a purple Mexico sunset.
It's a forest
with dead burned trees.
Yes, exactly.
Or are these centipedes? I don't know.
No, they're trees.
Okay,
centipedes.
I like trees.
They're trees, ladies and gentlemen. I can't.
This is very dark, man. This makes me want to ask if you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I mean, this looks
I've
like
been watching
looks like the Matrix clouds with the burned forest.
I've been watching tutorials on YouTube, man, for the landscapes, and they're really helpful, man. Yeah, I think the mountain one's my favorite one.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The ice-capped mountain.
And then the one with the Zia sun, that's my first one that
Nice.
I did. Yeah.
Are these like
I didn't blend the
brush?
sky and the mountain well enough, but I think it came out. I kind of messed up on the sky on the mountain one,
right?
like right there in the top left corner. But I still think it came out
The
pretty
top
good.
left corner is the best part.
You think?
I think that looks the
Oh,
coolest
okay.
right
Yeah,
there.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're saying that, man.
It's a happy mistake.
Yeah. Oh, hey,
Bob
man.
Ross.
Bob Ross. I think I texted you. I was like, hey, man, I'm getting into watercolors. And you were like, get your Bob Ross on, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You should maybe try watching him, and he could probably help you out a lot.
Yeah, man. I'm going to have to, because he's on Netflix, right?
Yeah,
And I mean, I bet he's on YouTube, too. But
Bob Ross is everywhere.
the shows are on YouTube. But
Pretty
yeah,
sure he's still on PBS too. If you like watching it on TV.
I got to get an antenna, man,
I
for
don't
my
even-
TV.
Not me. I don't watch TV anymore, man. I can't deal with the commercials, man.
So much content.
Yeah.
So much content. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this True 66 album. Do you have any other solo things besides the band and the
Not really, man. I mean, it's just the Burn the Leo thing. I'm gonna do. I got 3 EPs planned for that, so I mean, I already
Nice.
got a lot of the music, kind of roughly put down. So I just need to. It's all gonna be live drums, so I'm gonna record all that. So I'm working on that. They're gonna be 5-song EPs, and I got the titles for those. I got the song titles already too, actually.
word?
So I mean, I know what I'm going to write about. I kind of have an aim and a focus ready to go for that. So I mean, other than that, that's about all I really have planned.
And you're still making beats too.
I haven't made a beat in a
No?
while,
Oh,
but
okay.
but I mean, I will. So I mean, I have older beats that I made that I'm going to kind of rework for the Burn the Leo project. So, but a lot of it's going to be all new production. Probably not too many samples
Okay.
on this stuff. But I mean, I don't think we really mentioned that I made a lot of the beats on Play With Your Knowledge of Self and Spirituality.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I'm going to try to do, a lot of stuff without samples on that kind of stuff. So, so I'm working on that, and then we got the True 66 album coming out, and then hopefully, I mean, I want to try to find another band because I've been practicing a lot on the drums. So
Okay.
anybody listening to this, if you know somebody that's looking for a drummer, I like to play, funky stuff. So look, you need somebody that's.
Dahhm gets down.
If you need a funky drummer, let me know.
Word. Well, exciting, man. I can't wait, Well, of course, I can't wait for the True 66 album to come out, but I can't wait to hear all the other stuff that you're going to put out as well.
Word.
But this being the Red and Green Report, I need to come up with a new question because I'm getting the same answer, and I'm sure you know this already.
Yeah, and I'm probably going to give you the same answer. To be
All right.
honest, I mean,
So, red or green chili, go.
I think DJ3 said it the best. It's just kind of a situational thing, different things. I think I was thinking about that nobody noticed or nobody even mentioned yet is green chili cheeseburgers.
You know what? You're right.
I don't think anybody's mentioned that yet. So I mean,
No.
definitely, cheeseburgers green is where it's at. Enchiladas, I just red. I'm all
For me
about
too.
red for that.
Yeah.
Pozole, you need red. Burrito, like a burrito, it just depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll get the red, sometimes the green.
See, I like it's half and half Christmas.
That's how I like my huevos rancheros.
Yeah,
I like
that too.
Christmas for sure.
That too.
So I don't know. It's just kind of situational. But I mean, I think when I think about chili, I like the thought of green chili better
Yeah.
for some reason.
That's interesting.
I'm not
See,
sure.
for
I
me,
like
it's red.
and it's the smell too, like the roast. When it's roasting. Yeah, I don't know. I like green chili, but I love red chili too. I actually love making red chili.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It just depends, man. I love both equally though.
I think if somebody said pick, like you can only have one for the rest of your life, I'd have to go with red. That's
Yeah.
just, I don't know. Like
But I mean, the problem with
about
that is that the red chili, used to be green.
Yeah.
So how would that work?
Well, I'm just saying, like, hey, you can have these dishes, but you can only have one kind of chili.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I think, damn. I think I'd have to go with green.
So I asked this question for a reason. So my first year teaching, I had, I forget his name. Their name. The husband was from Artesia, and the wife was from Taos. And there was some situation where we had food at school, and we were all talking, and I was talking to him. He goes, "Man," he goes, I just dislike green chili. I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Man, I'm from Artesia, down there, for me, it's all about red chili." And he had this saying, and he was like, "Oh, green chili, down in Artesia, we call it gringo chili, green chili." And I'm like, "Oh, I've never heard that before."
Wow.
And then his wife was kind of like, "Shut up, dude." And she was like, "I like green chili more."
Yeah.
And like, just to like sit there and listen to them argue, red chili's better. So I thought, oh man, that's an ill question. Like, what do you rather prefer? But I think too, we're centralized here.
Yeah.
We're in Albuquerque. So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe I need to talk to somebody from northern New Mexico, maybe somebody. I don't think it makes a difference, but I saw that, that contrast. He was from southern New Mexico, she was from northern New Mexico, and I just rather have red chili.
Gringo chili. That's
Gringo
funny,
chili.
I don't know about that.
I didn't agree with them. I was like, man,
maybe that's what they have up in Denver.
Yeah.
That's not what we have here, man. Yeah. I don't really see too many gringos eating the hot green chili over here. So
yeah.
You might have missed it with that one.
Yeah. It's going to be really challenging when I get somebody in here from out of state. I'm going to have to come up with a new question. I remember when I went on that road trip to Michigan, you were like, good luck, man. The only thing you have forward to what'd you say? The only thing you have to look forward to now is gravy and cheese.
So, yeah, maybe if you get somebody from Wisconsin on, you could ask them what their favorite cheese is.
Yeah.
What's your favorite
cheese, bro?
What's your favorite gravy?
Yeah. What's your favorite gravy? Where do you get your favorite brat? What's up?
What kind of taco is your favorite taco if you go to Southern California?
Mm-hmm. That would be an ill question because there's so many places.
Yeah, I guess you just have to investigate what the thing for that region is, and ask if they participate or not.
Yeah,
that kind of would be what it is.
Or
you could just ask them,
yeah,
if they've ever had red or green chili, because a lot of people come through New Mexico, man. You travel to different places, and it's crazy. A lot of people are like, man, I love it there. I have a cousin or I have an uncle.
Yeah,
they go visit them every so often for the summer or whatever. You know what I mean? So. People come out here, and I know people come out here just to eat the red and green chili too, man. They'll take a detour on their trip just so they could drive through and eat some of the chili. So.
Yeah, we have family in Nogales in Arizona, southern Arizona, and they come. They're from New Mexico, but they come. They buy tortillas and chili, and then they go
Frontier tortillas. Or?
Well, yeah, Frontier.
Yeah.
But they also do, they go to the store and they buy whatever, stuff from the tortilla factory. Is it a roach? Roaching it up. It's roach season. No, it's a
Mothman prophecy.
Mothman prophecy. Yeah,
going
bro.
on in here, man. Watch out.
They're all over the place, bro.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? Why are you here?
What does it mean? What is it trying to tell us? Wake up, number 41. Or was that the number? I don't know.
Oh, I forget. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
That movie's scary.
Yeah, it was scary.
Don't watch it in the dark.
You got to leave the lights on. Eating a bowl of green chili stew.
You got to watch like a Jim Carrey movie after that or something.
Yeah,
so you don't get all scared.
Yeah. Ace Ventura.
Dumb and Dumberer.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumberer. Yeah.
Dumberer.
The unofficial sequel.
What was that? Wait, which one?
So Dumb and Dumber came out, and then years later they put out Dumb and Dumberer, which had nothing to do. It was like them when they were in high school.
Oh, and it had look-alike dudes.
Jim Carrey, yeah, they had nothing to do with the movie.
Well, what was the one with Jim Carrey that came out later?
It was Dumb and Dumber 2.
Okay. It wasn't Dumber.
No, the Dumb and Dumber. That was like the unofficial prequel that they had nothing to do with. Yeah, it was still kind of funny though, man. Like
I didn't watch it.
Juan Guzman was Jim Carrey's character's dad in the movie.
I didn't know Guzman was in there.
Yeah.
I might have to watch it now.
He was a janitor at the high school, and they lived in the high school. And so Jim Carrey's character told him, he left him a note in ketchup and mustard on the gym floor, like, "Hey, Dad, going out. I'll be home later." And he's like, "Damn, like you could have just wrote me a note. Now I got to clean this shit up."
That's funny, dude.
Yeah. But
I'm
okay.
still not gonna watch it, to be honest.
Yeah, man. I was flipping through Netflix actually the other day thinking, because Dumb and Dumber's on Netflix now, and I was like, oh, I wonder if that unofficial sequel's on here. That'd be pretty funny to watch, but it's not.
Nah. Nah, this is like one of those it's like when American Pie got to like number 7.
Yeah.
There's only like the only actor that's of any note is the dad.
Yeah.
Still, and like
then all the spin-offs, Bandcamp.
Oh Jesus.
And prequel to the Pie. I don't know.
It's like those National Lampoon one-offs.
Yeah.
They aren't really that funny.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't make them like what was it called? American Vacation?
I don't remember.
Family Vacation.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Griswolds.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there goes the Mothman.
The moth is upon us. What shall we do?
The moth is upon us. Probably want some red chili.
He's right here.
Oh,
He's right
get off the machine, friend.
He's loving the podcast, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's loving. I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about anymore, but the moth likes it.
I just hope he doesn't dive into the machine and mess up the cords, all the wires.
I thought I was here to talk about myself, and you're like showing me these watercolors. I don't even know.
Hey, I really just wanted somebody's opinion.
I just want to talk about myself, man. What the fuck? I'm a rapper. We talk about ourselves. That's what we do.
Yeah.
I'm doper than you. My music is better than you. My rhymes are going to do things that my rhymes are going. I write about my rhymes. I'm going to write about rhymes. My rhymes do things, and I'm writing about it.
Yes.
Dang it.
You should have a YouTube channel.
Nah.
Go off.
I don't know. I don't want a YouTube channel. Don't tell me what to do.
See? I'm a rapper. Don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want to do, and it's going to be the greatest shit ever.
I hate authority. That's why I rap.
Yeah.
Fuck authority.
So, chili, situational. Where do you think, what's your favorite spot here in town to eat?
Dang.
Again, situational. Let's go with...
you're talking about New Mexican food?
Yeah, let's go with Huevos. What's your favorite Huevos spot?
Oh, man. I really like Monica's El Portal.
You know what,
really
bro?
good.
I still haven't gone.
El Charitos, or El Charito.
That's over by you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's really good. Cocina Azul has a pretty good Huevos Rancheros.
They do.
Man, Max La Sierra.
Where's that?
That's right by Central and Coors.
Okay.
Old school. Me and my family been going there for years.
They have a chicken, like a famous chicken fried steak, don't they?
I think that's the family that started the steak in the rough thing.
Oh,
I think
okay.
possibly. I mean, I'm not too sure, but that's what I got growing up. Or not growing up, but that's what a few people have told me is that's the same family that does steak in the rough, and they just kind of broke off or whatever.
Did their own thing.
I'm not sure if
Or
it's
a
like
new
a
thing.
dad and kids situation or what it was, but yeah, something like that. I think they're related in some way.
Okay.
But yeah, that place is good. They have the steak fingers and enchiladas. That's really good over there.
That's what's up.
But yeah, for huevos, yeah, I mean, I think Monica's is probably my go-to most of the time.
That's in Old Town?
It's in Old Town, yeah. Which is crazy because I mean some of the places in Old Town are kind of touristy or whatever. Like you got Little Anitas or whatever, but Monica's is actually a really good representation of home cooked New Mexican food to me anyway. I don't know, like the rice kind of tastes like the rice and beans taste like your grandma made it with the lard in it or whatever. So
ooh, word.
and I think the rice kind of has like the chicken bouillon in there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's really good. The red chili is really good too. And then they don't put the I don't like places that put the flour in the in the red chili because I don't know. Somebody once told me when you're making the red chili, you're not making gravy. You're making chili. So
yeah,
you don't need. It's like a French thing, a roux. So you don't really need that. But I mean, another place that's really good is Mary and Tito's. I mean, I think you've mentioned them on the show before.
Yes.
But that's some good red chili right there. There's a lot of good little spots, man.
There are, man. There's there's a lot of good spots. It's hard to hit them all. Mm-hmm. Which is why, I'd like to ask, man, what's your favorite? Like,
yeah, I think Monica's is probably my go-to though, just for anything, even tacos or combination plate is really good too. Anything they
Yeah.
have, man. They have a thing called an enchilada ranchera, and it's it's like huevos rancheros, but it's enchiladas too.
Mhm.
Man, that's so good. And they got the pan fried potatoes are really good. Bomb, dude. You
Bro.
gotta check it out.
So,
They should sponsor your next show.
dude, Monica's. So,
Monica's, man.
my goal for this summer was to not eat meat during the week,
Mm-hmm.
and I've done really well. But I was, on Saturday, that's like I guess my cheat day. So I'm gonna have to go check out. I'll probably go check out Monica's tomorrow. Are they open for breakfast and lunch, or just
I'm not
breakfast?
sure that. I think they're on the weekends. They're just open for breakfast and lunch. Like,
Okay.
I think they close at like 2 or 3 on the weekends or something. I think they
Okay.
might even be closed Sunday and Monday. I'm not too sure.
Well, that's still cool. I'll go
Yeah.
check it out. I'll have to
But-
go check out Monica's tomorrow, and then
Yeah, go check it out, man. It's good.
unofficial sponsors for episode 10, because we are on 9 now.
Niner,
I can't believe, yeah, man.
3 times 3.
It actually went by quick, but that's because I haven't had people on in a long time. So the time has just kind of been going.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm sure hopefully it'll slow down for me once I get more episodes. But as a musician, somebody who MCs, plays the drums, knows his way around a computer to record and mix and get your drums on the computer, and also just a person who conceptualizes not only his lyrics, but everything from the lyrics to the cover. Like, what would your advice be to somebody who would like to be in your shoes?
I mean, I would say anytime you're approaching art, that you should, the first and the biggest thing to me is be open-minded. Be open-minded to a lot of different kinds of influences. Don't shut yourself off. And I mean, I've been guilty of that.
Yeah, me too.
In a lot of ways, but yeah, you never know where inspiration is going to come from. So be open-minded. And I think when it comes to music in 2019, do as much as you can yourself. You know what I mean? Like, get books, read up on it. If you want to learn how to mix, get a mixing handbook. They have them on Amazon. If you're going to rap and record yourself, read up and find out, analyze things, find out, how does my voice sound? Do I have a high pitched voice? Do I have a low? What kind of voice do I have? And then when you're looking for the mic, figure out which mics are receptive to which different tones. Little things like that, man, can help you out a lot. Mm-hmm. And then, just figure out what kind of setup works for you. If a little tiny audio interface and a mic and a laptop works for you, then that's all good, man. You can get a lot done with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just, just do research and read and actually care and support other people. Go to shows and watch what people are doing. Like, get with other musicians and vibe and collaborate. Learn things. Don't be closed off, and don't judge people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get to a place where you think you're better than everybody else, and you close yourself off, because that's when you stop getting better, I think. You have to be around people, and you have to be receptive to a lot of different things to make yourself blossom as an artist. So, that's just kind of the main bullet point of all that is be open-minded.
Nice. You heard it here, folks. Be open-minded. Yeah. And just with everything on the internet these days, the tutorials,
everything. There's nothing you can't do, man.
Yeah.
I bought a house and I've been replacing ballasts. I didn't even know what the hell that was before I bought it.
I don't know what that is.
It's like
props.
It's a thing in the that's inside the light in your kitchen. So
okay.
I had to replace that. I had some like electrician shit. So learning how to fix appliances, stuff like, you can find anything on the internet. So there's no reason why you can't get good at something. And that's another thing, man. Mm-hmm. Actually practice your craft, man. Get really good at it. Like, something that somebody said is, don't just practice it until you can do it. Practice it until you can't do it wrong.
Yeah.
I think that kind of stood out to me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about that a lot when practicing the drums. So,
mm-hmm.
But get really, really good. I think that's the thing is that a lot of people do that I've seen, and I'm not sure if it's just our city or in other cities or what's going on, but a lot of people just get to the point where they're good enough to get props and then they stop. And it's like, there's a lot of levels after that, man. Like you can go way further than that. And I don't know. I just think you just got to master what you're doing. I mean, if you're trying to take it serious, if you're trying to like, get signed to a label or start your own label or run your own brand or whatever, take it seriously and actually get really good at it.
Yeah, and things take time. It's not gonna just.
And I'm not saying that I'm the
overnight.
best ever. I mean, I know.
No,
I know that
no.
I can get better too. I mean, that's the
Me
place
too.
that's coming from is me constantly being hard on myself. You know what I mean? Be hard on yourself for sure. I mean, don't destroy your own dreams in your mind and kill yourself and send yourself into depression or something like that. Don't do that. But I mean, be hard on yourself. Be super critical. But I mean, also on the other flip side of that coin is don't be afraid to put your art out there.
Yeah.
Because you need to let go of that to progress as an artist.
Yeah, word up. Great advice. Definitely advice that I wish more people would have told me as I was coming up. Or,
right.
Yeah.
Me too, man.
Yeah. But on that note, man, I think we'll end it. Thanks for coming through.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. We're gonna do this again.
I'm down.
Yeah, man.
I'm down.
I'll let you know maybe again this summer if I can't get anybody else.
Man, maybe after we drop the album, we could just do an
man.
episode talking about the album and where the ideas from the songs came from and stuff like that. I mean, it might be cool.
That would be cool. Let's
Word.
do it. Well, man, on that note, peace out. Red and Green Report. Dahhm, give people your social media if you want.
Everything is pretty much at Dahhm Life, so it's DAHHM Life. So if you're looking for Facebook / Dahmm Life, at Dahmm Life for Instagram, I have my own website, dahmlife.com, that has a lot of links to all my music, and then I have a lot, my music's up on iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. If you're super interested in supporting and buying directly from the artist, the best way for to do that with me would be through Bandcamp right now. Or you could even just send me a message on my website, an email on my website, and I can meet up and deliver you some music.
That's what's up. And if you want to hit up the True 66 Instagram page, we're just True 66. Type that in, and you'll see the page right away. You'll see the logo. So hit us up there, and that'll keep you informed about the album and when it's coming out. Red and Green Report. Again, it's just Red and Green Report on Instagram. So stop by, say what's up, and keep it gully. Peace.
Peace.